All right, everybody, welcome to week 34. I'm going to quickly go over what we are working on this week. So hopefully at this point you all have turned in part 1, or at least, not period, should have turned in part 1. If you have questions specific to that, hopefully you have asked me prior to this point, but I will take them now or at the end of me going over these instructions at that time. But let's talk about the part 2. I told you guys this was going to be broken down into 2 parts, and so we are now on to part 2. I have remade the Scramper sample questions visible again to you. I moved them out of part 1, put them back into part 2. Let me click into that, show you what it is. Again, if you don't remember what this is, I do have that useful information that I had you read over the first part down here. So if I click on this, you'll see it. It goes over what it is, why we use it, what the different parts mean. So here you go. Scramper is a technique where each letter of the acronym represents another way to brainstorm. I'm sorry, that's probably hard for you guys to read. There we go. The tool is easy to use by asking questions about an existing product using an acronym and associated questions. And then I did give you those questions that you can use when it comes time to that part of the portfolio. You can see, there we are. There are those questions you can ask yourself. I just want to go over the links really quick. So that's done. That's done. I included the consideration, consider the impact checklist. Again, check this out. This has the rubric on it. Make sure you're doing all of these things. And finally, let's talk about what is required for part 2. I reworked this a little bit. I'm just going to have you turn in for your submission your completed portfolio. All the pieces put together, submitted for part 2. I put together the steps and the rubric or the portfolio requirements. I put it into one document so that it was all in one place and you didn't have to go looking for it. I'm hoping that'll help make this a little bit easier for you. So obviously, when you start this, starting at step 6, you should have your portfolio open. Period. End of story. Portfolio open, and you should be working alongside this with the portfolio. So you can use the Scramper brainstorming method to generate product improvement ideas about how to reduce the environmental impact of the product. So specific to your product, ask yourself those questions, and how can you reduce the environmental impact? Document. That can be 1 to 2 slides. Then we're going down to this part of the engineering design process. Develop, construct, and test. You're going to review your brainstorming notes and you're going to develop one idea with a conceptual model as a concept sketch. So just a quick sketch of your product, hand drawn, all right? You all have a product. I want you to hand draw it. Annotate it a little bit. Just tell me like what the different pieces are. It says that annotate your sketch. Put that in on a slide, please. Then you're going to sketch your product and its parts in Onshape. You're going to paste in pictures into your portfolio, and they should be in a border and title block and lightly dimensioned. What I mean by lightly dimensioned is I don't expect 100% of your dimensions, but I do want the overall dimensions of your product and its parts. You're going to add a column to the product disassembly chart. So you're going to go back into that product disassembly chart, add a column to either justify the choice of material or present an alternative. So based on whatever material it's made out of, you're going to say, this is a good material because da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Or you'll say, I'm going to choose this material instead because I think it will have a better impact on the environment, the world, people that use it. Finally, you're just going to write a proposal. It's just answering these 2 questions on a slide. And then you're just going to complete, this is actually gather all the, nope, we're done at that point. You're going to submit your project portfolio. Here again are the requirements for submission this time. So you can see them. I have them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're being added to your current portfolio, so I can't assign them slide numbers because I don't know what slide you're on, if that makes sense. It should still be one complete Google Slide document. Do not let the fact that the Scramper documentation starts with number 1 make you think you need a brand new document. Everything goes in the same document, period. Okay. I think that's all of that's all of the documents inside this week 34 folder. Obviously, if you have questions, feel free to ask, either in class or in Schoology. I can guarantee that it's going to be better for you to ask me in class or on Zoom, because I'm going to be able to answer it quicker and better than I would be if it were a Schoology message. So again, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you guys can get started, and I will see you guys later.